friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Alexia, and as you can tell by the title of the video, I am going to go through the books I read in February. And also, as you can tell from my background, I am in the process of moving, so I don't actually have the physical books to show you, but I'll just post a little picture on the screen as I'm going through them. I'm super excited to be moving, actually. Sometimes moving feels very taxing and very dreary, but my fiance and I have lived in Texas for almost like 2 years, but we're moving back home, which is in Arizona. So I'm super excited to just be near our family again, near more friends. And yeah, our wedding's gonna be there, so it'll be nice to actually plan our wedding where it's going to be, you know? So anyway, let's get into the video. You can grab a cup of coffee or water or tea, and let's just sip and yap with each other. So I guess I'll try going in the order of the ones I like the least to the ones I like the most. So the one I would say I like the least, which I didn't really read any bad books this last month. I read 3 books in total. The one I liked the least, quote unquote, was probably This Spells Love by either Katie or Kate Robb. I think it's Katie Robb. Sorry if I got that wrong. I got this for book of the month. I forgot what month it was, but the premise of this one is basically Gemma gets broken up with and she is just very distraught about it, and she just feels like it was a waste of time. So she decides to go to her aunt's house, which she lives in like an apartment, half bookstore, because she owns the bookstore. And she goes there with her sister and her best friend Dax, and they all get pretty drunk except for him. And her aunt tells her that she just got a spell book with like a love cleansing spell in it that she should just try. And she's like, sure, why not? I'm drunk and I have nothing to lose. So they end up doing the spell, and it has to be sealed with a kiss. And since the only person who's there who's not related to her is Dax, so they end up kissing, and then she wakes up in an alternate universe where she never met her ex, except on accident, she ends up erasing Dax from her life because she met Dax the same night she met her ex. And so to reverse the spell, she realizes that she has to do it all over again, but it has to be sealed with the same person, which is Dax, and he doesn't know her anymore. So now she kind of has to go through the process of, how do I get him to know me? Their meet cute in this alternate reality is actually so funny, because obviously she still thinks that she knows him, and he's like, who is this crazy lady in my building right now? It was pretty cute. I will say, I think I gave it a 3.5 stars. I think what took me a little bit out of it to not giving it a 4 stars was she started saying a lot of like weird sexual things, and I'm not opposed to that, but it was just kind of take me out of it when she was just talking about his penis sometimes, or I don't know. I was just like, why are we saying that? It's hard to explain unless you read it. However, other than that, I thought it was pretty cute. It's not super fantastical, so if you think it's super witchy or super mystical, I would kind of tone that back a bit, because it's, or not tone that back, but I would kind of release that expectation a little bit, because it's not super witchy or anything like that, but it's a little mystical. It's just really fun, really cute, a quick read. And overall, I really liked Gemma's growth throughout the book, and I thought it was pretty realistic, you know, for being like a Groundhog Day sort of situation. The next book is the 4th Harry Potter book, which was The Goblet of Fire. I rated that one 4 stars. Not much to say. I mean, of course, I mentioned in my last videos, I just really like the Harry Potter universe. I've never read the books before. I have seen the movies. But I'm surprised by how comical, how fun, how adventurous they've been. But yeah, nothing bad to say. And lastly, but definitely not least, was The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. Speechless. For real. Like, oh my gosh, I loved the Vanishing Half. I gave it 5 stars. It was just so beautiful. The writing was just so lyrical, and each time she kind of transitioned into a different, not necessarily chapter, but just a different block, I guess, in time, or a different part of the story. The end sentences, the one-liners were just so hard-hitting and so thought-provoking. It was just, oh man, I just loved it. There was just so much to say about race and just wealth, like your socioeconomic class and your identity, and also how race and your socioeconomic class plays into your identity and into your self-confidence. And just the way she wrote each character, like we got to know the nitty-gritty parts of these people, like the parts that they're maybe a little bit ashamed of themselves for. And it was just so beautiful, just seeing the different generations and how the impact of what each person went through and how that impacted their future generation was just, I keep saying beautiful, but that's literally the one word that I can use to describe it. There's also a lot of commentary on just family and the shame you kind of feel of wanting to expand your life past your immediate family. I know I touched on the fact that it follows Desiree and Stella's childhood and adulthood, but it also follows their children. So it kind of shows you the 2 different paths that these children take and how they're treated by their mothers because of their past. And I just loved following Jude's story, and her and Reese are so cute. I think that's his name. I wish I could double check in the book. Fake fan. Fake fan if I got that wrong. But their relationship was just, man, I loved it. It was just so excellent. Like the ending, that's just one of my favorite endings ever, and I can't really say anything about it because it will spoil it. So what The Vanishing Half is about, I'm just geeking out about this book and you guys have no idea what it's about, but, or you might, but anyway, it's about 2 twins who grow up in Mallard, Louisiana, and one day just decide to leave. So they go to New Orleans, and Desiree is the one who has always wanted to leave Mallard, and she kind of just took Stella with her, and Stella agreed. And then one day, I think like a couple weeks after they've or months or something like that, where they've settled into New Orleans, Desiree comes back and Stella's gone. So it just kind of deals with you seeing both Desiree and Stella's childhood, how it led to their adulthood, like how their self-perception affected themselves, and how it led to them just growing apart from each other, or Stella just choosing to leave Desiree. Man, I seriously, like, I just don't know how to describe this. I don't know how to describe this to fully just encompass the way I feel about it, but it was good. It was so good. It was so good. It was so good. That was probably one of my favorite reads, and I was just talking about it with my fiance, and he was like, wow, this should be a movie. Like, I don't know why it's on a movie. And yeah, it would do super well as a movie or a show. So I'm just saying. This was really popular like a couple years ago, and I had it for such a long time and I never picked it up, and I'm just so happy I did. But yeah, that's all I have for y'all today. I don't really have a super huge March TBR for you guys, but I know I'm going to try to read Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I'm like 120 pages into that one, and my book club, which is on Fable, and it's called Bottomless Reads. There is a link down in the description below if you're interested in joining. We just kind of go through different books every single month. It's about sipping and expanding our reading palettes. But we chose Project Hail Mary for the month of March, so I'm excited to get into this one too. I'm on page 46 of this one. So those two books I for sure will be reading in the month of March, and I'll be lucky if I get to another one. This boy is like 870 pages long. I've been in like a weird reading slump this beginning of the month, but now I'm ready to get back into it, so I'm happy about that. But yes, thank you so much for making it this far in my video. Feel free to let me know what books you read in February, or if you've also read some of the books I read in February, and let me know your thoughts. It was lovely yapping and sipping with you guys, and I hope to see you sometime very soon. Bye!